Hello, you guys. How's everybody doing?
Hi, how are you?
What's going on?
Good. So I wanted to first thank you guys for joining me today and allowing people to share their different questions with you guys about technology and business, and for you guys to give us your expertise on the matter. So we'll go ahead and we'll start with technical grace. Who and what is technical grace?
Well, technical grace is out the gate. It's just me. It's like my brainchild. A hobby that I've always had, a passion that I've always had. Now, turned it into from a hustle to a business. Where technical grace came from was more of a knowing the fact that there's a bunch of individuals who want to repair computers that have, your Best Buys, your Geek Squad, stuff like that. But I wanted it's not to just revolve around me making money, making a profit, but being able to help individuals also with in the sense of, they may not always have it to go pay top dollar for the same type of work. So
Yeah.
that's how I look at it. You get everything that you can get from the Geek Squad, but you get it as something that's going to help you financially also, not just where you make life decisions. Should I get this computer fixed or should I, pay this bill or whatever? But you actually have the opportunity to have both things done.
Yeah, yeah. I know for me that has always been what that has been the breakdown. Like, okay, well, do I pay this or do I go over here? So that's it. So having someone do what you do is so amazing and so vital. Why do you think technology is important to businesses?
Technology, I honestly, it makes the world go round when, especially in the business world. So for a business, it keeps you in the loop. It keeps you connected to the outside world. It provides all the convenience that you'll ever need between networks and things like that, or intranets, however that you want to design your business. Also, I mean, it takes you out of the Stone Age. Let's be honest with you. So, sitting back and not being able to put a POS system in your store or something like that, and you're sitting there with almost abacus trying to calculate and subtract. But it's like, yo, make sure that you do your research in whatever field of business that you're going to get in to understand how, when it comes to technology, how it benefits you.
Yeah,
So in many ways, whether it's fashion or anything like that, because you have a lot of fashion designers, they done went from sketching on paper to sketching on Photoshop and sketching on illustrators and stuff like that to design clothes.
yeah.
So that's where the purpose of actually Surface Pros and all of that came from, was for the architects, was for the fashion designers. I can sit back with this pen and this tablet and really draw out what's on my what the vision I see.
Yeah. With that being said, do you should business owners have a good sense of technology when deciding to go into business for themselves?
Um, it doesn't have to be where you the sense of like the mind frame for technology or
Mhm.
things like that, but have somebody on your team that does.
Okay.
That can harness the vision that you see for your business or where you want to take your business, and they can show you where technology can benefit or how technology can take you to the next level. Because without it, literally, you'll still always be behind, or you'll be trying to catch up to the narrative in a sense when it comes to your business, or you'll have be outdated. I mean, let's just be honest. A lot of things can be outdated to where we have to be 100. Our customers, we live in a microwave type world, and our customers want to be in and out, move fast, in and out, move fast, or make it to be convenient. So even when it comes to like how your website is built, that's a part of your technology. How your website is built, you want it to look a certain way. You want it to be user friendly and things like that. So those who are technology savvy or technologically savvy, those are the type of individuals you want to keep around you, or to be able to be doing the research for you because you have the vision or the brand or the marketing in the mind to do that portion. So if you don't have it, find those who do.
Yeah. Yeah. So who and what is Leslie? What? How do you say the last part, Leslie?
Leslie
Okay,
Carissa.
Carissa.
It's my first and middle
Okay.
name.
So who and
Mhm.
what is Leslie Carissa? Because I know your name is Leslie. You know, I know you as Leslie Laurie, but I've been
Mhm.
seeing amazing. Well, it's amazing because it's just enough for people to be intrigued, but it's just enough also for me to want to know more.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
what is Leslie Carissa?
So Leslie Carissa is actually a Canva template shop and printables. So basically, I create Canva templates for female entrepreneurs so that they'll be able to kind of package their content. In other words, like when you make a digital product, like if you make a course, if you make an ebook, if you make a journal or a workbook or something of that sort, I give you a template that you can actually put your content into and then design it, make it brandable to whatever your brand is and whatever design is. So basically, I'm helping female entrepreneurs that don't necessarily have time to design to make things that are, pretty, beautiful, things that are on brand. I know that's something that a lot of female entrepreneurs don't have, a lot of time, especially if you're a mom, you have a job, you're doing all the things. And so that's where I come in with like these time-saving toolkits that can help.
So I'll say this. You being able to master Canva is not something that just makes things look pretty. It is a massive tool.
It
and
is.
and the fact that you've mastered it is really, really, really amazing, because I have conversations with people often, men and women in business, and they don't know how to do the marketing piece or the content creation piece. So I believe that what you're doing is so vital to so many entrepreneurs. So with that being said, do you believe that content creation is necessary for business?
Absolutely. There's kind of no way around it. It doesn't matter if you're like I started off as he is a mess. I started with blog, and that kind of like led me into understanding like how much content creation is like a thing. It's a big thing, and it doesn't matter if you're blogging, if you're even if you have a service-based business, content is really important. So for instance, if you have services of any kind, you're going to write about your services on your website. That's content. You're going to post about them with social media graphics and things like that on your business page and your Instagram, Instagram stories, whatever, what have you. So
Yeah.
content is very vital to like the success of your business. For instance, like I was saying with the blogging, a blog is like a great way to put out your free content pretty much because, whatever you're writing about is usually free content. And that's a way that people can see what you have to offer. And like, you take that free content and you can turn it into courses, or that leads them into the courses and digital ebooks and things of that nature. So yeah, content is king.
Yeah. And I think if and you can correct me if I'm wrong, with Canva, it allows you to make material or content that is uniform, that represents your brand. Is that
Mhm.
correct?
Absolutely. Yeah. Uh-huh. So like, for instance, if I were to give you like a template of social media graphics, so to speak, you could just go in and it's already designed for you. You would just add in your brand colors, put in whatever your content or your quote or, social media quote, things like that. And whatever picture, if you'd like, in there. And then you already have, your post for the day. And then these are things that you can use over and over and over. If you think about it, like templates are really the way that a lot of people are going, not just, social media graphic templates. But if you think about it, like a lot of websites are based off of a template that people sell over and over and over. Same thing with printables. So that's like a really a way that a lot of people are going kind of to work smarter, not harder.
Yeah. Yeah. What would you say to a business owner that says, I don't need content help? I'll figure it out as I go.
You can do that. It's harder. I would say you can you can go that route. But I would definitely say if there's a course or if there's a person or someone that you follow or someone that can kind of give you some insight on like how to structure content and things of that matter, depending on what you're doing, I would say definitely go that route. We all know about Google University. We get on and we try to piecemeal things together. and it just takes you longer. It's not that it's impossible, but it takes you longer to get to your, you know, your intended outcome. So if you know that content is not something that you really are really good at, or is something that you struggle with, I would definitely say find somebody to help you. You can even get on Fiverr and find somebody to write different things for you. And content isn't just like one form. Like, you don't just have to blog. You don't just have to write. A lot of people don't necessarily like to sit down and write out a Word document or whatever. Content can look like video creation, YouTube, that's video content. Podcasting, that's audio content. There's just so many different ways that you could do, you know, Instagram, that's like kind of like a form of micro blogging. It doesn't necessarily have to be like 1,000-word document, but you're just getting in there and you're saying whatever it is you need to say. You know, you upload your videos on Facebook. There's so many different ways that you can go about, you know, building your content. You just got to find what works for you. And definitely, if you need help, reach out to someone. Like I said, Fiverr, Upwork, there's different platforms where you can get help. There's even a thing, I'm sorry if I'm talking too much.
No,
There's even okay. Some people use what is called PLR. It's private label rights. So like there's websites that sell you content that's already completely written out, and it's like you brand it. So like, again, that's kind of like a template. They're selling it over and over again. And so it could be on a specific subject, and you can kind of go in and tweak it and make it sound or make it fit your, you know, your voice, your brand voice. And then you have, you know, whatever. Yeah. So yeah, content.
So is it safe to say that content creation along with your Canva business would be something that you would offer to entrepreneurs and business owners?
Yes, definitely the Canva piece, the content creation piece. I don't so much want to, I have written for others. I don't necessarily want to make that like a main, like that takes a lot, especially depending on what field a person is in, because there's a lot of research that goes into that. So if you're talking about something that's not necessarily my niche, so to speak, then there's a lot that goes into trying to, you know, put together a piece of content for somebody who's like a food blogger. I'm not a food blogger, you know, like my blog is about marriage, motherhood, and ministry, you know, prayer and you know, Bible study, things of that nature. So if it's within that realm, then it's a lot easier. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So tell us again, what's the name of your blog?
The name of my blog is Without Ceasing Woman. Mm-hmm.
And how do you find it exactly? What's the
That's the www.withoutceasingwoman.com.
Okay. Chris, new versus refurbished computers. How would you say that as a business owner you should start out with a new computer or a refurbished computer? Which would be best?
It's kind of twofold, because as the business owner, you always want to look at financially where you may be. So if trying to do new is right up your alley, go for it. I definitely recommend it. But if you're just starting, you want to get off the ground, when it comes to refurbished, you definitely want to be careful in that aspect, because it's two types of refurbished for folks. It's almost like two types of used cars on a car lot. So you have the used vehicle, or you have the used laptop that actually, where it comes to what the mechanics of really what helps it run, you can look at like transmission, engine, this, that, and the other. Or when you look at, you got a little buddy behind you. When you look at the used laptop, it's the same thing. The hard drive, the RAM, the battery. You want to know, how long ago were these things replaced? If they even have been replaced. And that's what it's really, the guts, the inside. So like for me, for instance, if it's for me, and I done bought a bulk of computers to go ahead and refurbish and maybe sell, I'm dropping new battery, new hard drive, new RAM. So to make sure that in all things, right there, they at least got 3, 4 to 5 years out of it, no matter how old it is. So when you go in those directions, you definitely want to look at, about it's personal preference, what your finances look like, and then make sure whoever you're going through that, you trust them, they're trustworthy. They got their credibility is on point, because technology is the easy game. to where people can get over. I've seen even just working out in the field, I've seen the worst of worst setups, and I've seen the best of the best. And the worst of the worst are they look good, but then once you start to use it, man, the breakdown for it is like night and day. And all of a sudden, you're noticing that people are having problems left and right because one of the biggest things, like when you ask me what is technical grace, as bad as it's going to sound, this is literally my motto. But it's a healthy motto. In this type of industry, you should be in a place where you can say to your customer, they will say, see you later. And you thinking to yourself, no, not really.
Yeah.
Because you want to set them up to the T to where if they call you back, it's something brand new. It's not the same problem. That's if they call you back. They have to call you back. And that's what the mindset you want to have being in technology, being in the IT industry. But some people may set you up to where, okay, I'm just going to do the bare minimum, paper clip this, and Band-Aid that, and I'll see you about 30 days. And they know it when they walk out.
Wow.
So it's all about, that trustworthy, credibility.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's talk technology terms for business owners. Algorithms. What is it? Mm-hmm. Tell us what an algorithm is.
Let's use Facebook for instance. Facebook is a good one because that's one that everybody can relate to. So you can have 4,000 friends, and for some reason, all you do is see literally maybe 30 on a day-to-day basis. And that's all built off of who you interact with. And so for business, it's the same thing. In your business, let's say if you, it's almost like setting up a demographic for your business. So let's say if you have a cooking business, you do soul food and stuff like that. Your reach or the algorithm that you want to try to set up for your business or who your business markets to is to areas where, soul food may be super popular. And it's not or you want to bring them into the knowledge, into the arena of this is what you do. It's like demographic marketing when you do algorithms. So it's literally you pinpointing who, when you interact with, is going to interact back with you. So in the Facebook realm, everybody you like, comments, share, you'll always see them because Facebook is learning this is who you function with. This is who you talk to on a normal. This is who you like to read on. This is whose posts you like to see. And then as for everybody else, over time, if it's noticing it's 60, 30, maybe 20, maybe 120 days that you haven't interacted with the individual, Facebook actually automatically, they may still be friends of yours, but it will automatically unfollow the individual. Wow. And so even with business, you have to know who like how you were saying niche, it's Leslie saying niche, it's almost like you have to know who your audience is, who your clientele is when you develop these things. So then you can build it around those individuals, and those are the people that's going to love on you, going to interact with you, going to buy into your business, and then those will also be the people that will help promote you out. So that's also the way algorithms should work. Not only should it bring in the interaction, but it's going to help send out the interaction also.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for explaining that. Because that is one of the things that I'm like, I know I have X amount of friends, but I've only seen this. Or even I've noticed with TikTok, that's the way it sets up, like it has the different sides of it. And it's almost like, well, hold on. Or even when you go on to what I've noticed something is you've Googled something and then you go onto your Instagram and that image or that company stuff is now part of your feed a little bit. So
audio and search trackers, those are real big. I would definitely recommend if you're a business and you sell products to get involved in that type of stuff. It may, it's a monthly fee and subscription for those type of things, but it's definitely profitable. So even if you're and it's funny because it makes you feel like Big Brother watching you type deal, but even if you're sitting here texting about, oh man, I'm about to go to Home Depot, all of a sudden it's like your phone literally just sent the information of Home Depot to Facebook or to Instagram. Now here go your advertisements. Ooh, you at Home Depot. And it's like, oh no.
Yeah.
But it's definitely worth it. So I would definitely recommend it if anybody, invest into your babies.
Yeah. So virtual private network, a VPN. What is that exactly?
So virtual private networks are ways of concealing what you do in a sense. So we'll do it from the the not so good side, but beneficial side for an individual, and then we'll look at business. So not so good side of it, but beneficial. So say you stream music, you stream movies, stuff like that. All these like Popcorn Time is good. Popcorn Time will always recommend, go buy a VPN, virtual private network. So then what it does is it literally changes the location of where you are.
Got it.
So your IP address pinpoints you here in Las Vegas. A VPN, so you can go watch a movie, and let's say whoever your internet service provider is, they can't pinpoint it back to you that you watching a new Wonder Woman movie or whatever, illegally or something like that. When they look it up, it'll say, "Oh, I'm in Los Angeles," instead, when you're really not. But then on the beneficial business side, it's the same way to eliminate people getting into your private stuff. So VPNs are a good thing about a VPN. I would say, like, I just started working with a law firm, and so they have hundreds and hundreds of clients, right? So with this law firm, I definitely have to set them up with a VPN, because at any point in time, you never know when your network can get infiltrated, especially because with COVID, you have a lot of people working from home. So you want to set them up to where they can privately from home log into this network and see everything that's business related, that's about the business and this, that, and the other, and not be able to just access it at any point in time. So it keeps you secure. It keeps everything that you need private protected. That's something even with what are those individuals called that have a bunch of clients like that? Behavioral health services. I definitely recommend that type of stuff, because you deal with people's socials, you deal with all type of private and personal information, because you have therapists that have clients and stuff like that. I mean, or patients and all of that good stuff. And you don't want to just keep it on a server that's accessible to anybody that walks in and connects to your Wi-Fi. You want to be able to set up and say, okay, I need to get to this person's information. Let me go ahead and log into this VPN that's set up for business. Now everything runs down that I can connect to that's business related. Instead of just, as soon as I connect to your internet, I see everything that's personal to, or that's trivial to the actual employee.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Leslie, what does your content and social media say about you and your business? In your opinion?
Oh, okay. For a business owner, it speaks to, it should speak to what you're offering, your services, your brand, your customer service, everything. When you're posting, it should definitely line up with whatever it is that you're offering. You shouldn't necessarily, it's not that you can't, show other sides of you and be personable, and let people kind of, into your life. I think nowadays people really like to be able to feel like they're connecting with, whoever it is that they're purchasing from to some degree. We don't have to know all of your business, but to feel like, oh, okay, she's a mom too. We want to find ways to connect with you. So you should definitely be personable, but you should also kind of position yourself to be like the authority or an expert in whatever it is that you're offering. People should be able to come to you and say, like, okay, so she teaches financial literacy. I know that if I come to her page, I can find out X, Y, and Z, or, information on, tax services, or whatever it is that you are positioning yourself to be, the expert on, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm.
Right. So what is a targeted audience?
So a targeted audience is basically, or an ideal client or an ideal avatar. That's basically the people or the group of people that you are specifically offering your services or your products to. So for instance, if you are looking for a midwife or a doula, you're going to search for somebody in that specific area, right? And so being that that's what, say I'm the doula or whatever, being that that's what I do, I'm going to specifically target women who are either pregnant or want to get pregnant, right? Whoever is in that specific, like I was saying, like that niche, that target area, whoever feels or who has that specific pain point, so to speak, right? So you're looking, or I'm looking for women who are maybe who are pregnant or want to become pregnant and want to know more information about maybe having their child at home. You know, with the whole pandemic and everything that's going on, that's kind of the way some, you know, people are, some women are going right now. So more so than before. So your targeted audience is the group of people that you have a service to fulfill their pain point, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So would you suggest that a business owner determine the targeted audience prior to starting any content creation? Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that'll help you in the long run if you know exactly who it is that you're looking for. If, like for me, I know that I want to help female entrepreneurs, not mainly, but more specifically, ones that are maybe in the startup phase themselves or are fairly new in business. And again, you know, they need ways to save time because they have other obligations outside of the business that they're running. So it's definitely important to figure out who it is that you're trying to service before the business, because if not, you'll just kind of be trying to help everybody and you really can't help everybody. It sounds nice, but you have to target. And as a business owner, I'm sure you've probably heard the riches are in the niches, but like when you niche down to a specific group of people, say for instance, if Chris said that he only wanted to teach, technology or computer repair to African American males between like 15 and 24. That's a specific audience, right? So then they know people within that age or that demographic know like, oh, he helps people within this area, so I'm going to go to him. It just helps people to and you to establish your credibility in a specific area.
Yeah. Yeah. So determining your target audience and determining your demographic, are those one and the same?
Wait, say that one more time.
So determining the targeted audience and determining your demographic, are they one and the same?
Yeah, pretty much. Because what you'll do is like, say for instance, you can actually sit down and make like a list of like who it is that you want to help. Like you can be specific. I want to help female entrepreneurs between the age of 25 and 35 who are married, who are working a job but would like to leave this job so that they can, you know, work for themselves. They have 3 kids, a dog, and live in a small, you know, you can be as specific as you want to. And that just lends to you being able to know exactly who you're targeting. Because if you really think about it, you see when you're on Facebook, children, sorry. When you're on Facebook, you see specific ads, right? I think Chris was talking about that. You see specific ads because they've targeted you for a specific reason. Like maybe you're going to Oprah's Facebook page. Maybe you're going to Marie Forleo's Facebook page, who helps female entrepreneurs get started, right? The specific things that you're looking at, Facebook is then, and not just Facebook, but other business owners are creating ads, marketing ads to target you because you like certain things. And they know that if I find these people that like these certain things, they're more likely to purchase my services. And so I'm going to run these ads so that they see them continuously and they're, oh, what is this? And so, yeah, you definitely want to have a targeted audience if you want your business to be sustainable.
So almost developing that within the business structure. Okay. Chris, cloud sourcing. What is cloud sourcing?
Cloud sourcing, that's actually a really good question, based on maybe what you may do for a business. It's almost like another way or a way around doing a VPN for your business. You can always create your own clouds where, just like with Google and everything like that, where it goes to a private type of network. So all your documentation is there, sitting there for you. But those are more local. But when you do something private, you're literally setting up a computer in the back, setting it's called server network, so you like Windows Server or whatever, and everything will be sitting there for you. So no matter who's on what computer in the office or at the warehouse, whatever the case may be, you can always see what documents have been worked on, what inventory is there. It's almost like a major way of doing expanding off of external drives in a sense. So what I always recommend to come out of doing the possibility of because using hardware, having a tower in the back and all that stuff, because hardware goes bad. And then you risk the possibility of all of your years and years and years of documentation going out. When it comes to cloud source, I recommend doing a local source, doing something like a Google, doing something like OneDrive, Dropbox, because those things are secured by credible companies. So
Okay.
and for businesses, it definitely takes that stress and it takes that off of you, and it's more convenient. So if anything ever happens, you already know it's whatever happens physically in the building. You know that everything you have is in somebody's cloud and is protected. Instead of, let's say, your building goes up in flames, something happens, a riot happens, and people get to tearing stuff up. This computer just got destroyed, and there goes a decade of your business. So when you cloud source, it's like almost shopping for something for a local company that's going to house, that's going to store, that's going to have everything sitting there for you at your convenience whenever you need it. And especially like with TV broadcasting and stuff like that, you have no idea how much the cloud is being used for that. Everything is being set in a cloud, and all I gotta do is click a button from the station and say, "Oh, run this commercial, run this program, this rerun at this time, just follow a schedule." So those are things that I would always recommend for a business, especially if it's a lot of documents that you guys have to keep on the regular. Don't just try to sit here with external drives laying around, because hard drives go bad really, really
Yeah.
fast. Look into somebody's cloud. It's worth the investment. Don't short yourself in your business when it comes to technology. Don't think that, oh, if I make this one-time payment and I'm good to go, because I just bought this external 2 terabyte drive and it's gonna hold me down for the next 20 years. But a hard drive can go bad in 5. A hard drive can go bad in 10 minutes if something happens where you get an electrical surge to your computer, and now all of a sudden all your hard drive does is click when you plug it. So look into the things that are accessible that advance your business. Reaching out to these individuals that are local cloud sourcing, like your iClouds, your Dropboxes, your OneDrives, which is Microsoft. Those things are advancing. Those are the advancing pieces for businesses to actually help push you into levels to where, okay, I can go to sleep at night and not have to worry about, did this computer just crash? Or walking
Yeah.
into the office and all of a sudden, it's completely not turning on. So those are things I would look into. Start to build what you do around those type of things. So then you take everything off of the physical hard drives, because we have to be honest. Something can happen. You can have a disgruntled, employee that you had to let go, and all of a sudden they done broke in and stole the computers. Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool. You snatched up the computers, but we got everything stored backed up for us. So that's why you never know what may happen nowadays, because it's kind of crazy with certain individuals, people, stuff
Yeah.
like that. So look into the things like that advance your business, that make it convenient for you. Don't always try to be so taking the short end of the stick in a sense, because
Yeah.
when it breaks, you have nothing else to hold on to.
Yeah. So in that same light, say for example, a business owner, their laptop got stolen, or like you said, someone breaks into the house and they steal the computer. With the cloud sourcing, would that business owner be able to wipe the system, or would that information still be on the actual device and in the cloud?
Well, it would be both. So there's always going to be a file that will have still the information locally on the computer, and then
Okay.
remotely in the cloud. But you can also set it to where all you do is put everything in the cloud. There's literally nothing saved to the computer. It's
Okay.
it's more of a convenience for the individual. So say if I'll just use Microsoft as an example, because they're just doing it. It's fairly new, and they've actually done a really good job at what they do. So I'll compare it to Google Drive. Google Drive just as of recently started doing the application where you can download their folder to your computer and get access to what you're putting on their Google Drive locally. With a Windows-based computer, it's automatic. As soon as you start to do the setup and set up a Microsoft login, it's going to automatically give you a OneDrive folder on your computer. So anything you put in there automatically reaches the cloud. I don't have to worry about going to a website. I don't have to worry about logging in. I just got to save it to this folder. Now, unfortunately, the moment you log out, those files are still there locally on the drive. So, but there's always a sense of if I turn it off, clear that, turn it back on, they're still in there, but they're not on my computer. Or you can just change the settings however you like. So it's however the convenience works for you. If you want it in both places, cool. But if you just want it in the where I'm reaching out to the drive and getting what I need, doing the work, putting it back, and this, that, and the other, that you can do it that way also. I don't want to develop a paranoia behind how you should construct your business and your daily work and how you wondering who doing what. But you always want to secure what you do.
Yeah, I think it's more so being informed of your options and your liabilities and business. I think that's really important. Leslie, can content creation within Canva increase business owners' business traffic? Did we lose her? We lost her. Okay. So operations and business system terms and e-commerce terms, tech terms, POS. I heard you mention it earlier. What is a POS?
Point of sale system. So if you sell clothes, like literally in a store, if you sell clothes, if you sell anything, any type of product, POS systems are your cash registers pretty much. So a lot of people have started to come out of the old school cash registers and stuff like that to where they are going through Square or going through. This is what happens when you have business and children. That should be the next slide. Business and children. We let the kids do all the talking.
So that's going to be the next couple of questions after he answered this question about people. Because I don't know if you guys can hear my 3-year-old's at the door. He's bamming, trying to get in. And so yeah. So,
mine was like, man, when I had to, there we go. When I had to mute myself and turn the camera off, mine was about to stage dive off this high chair. So I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
So POS systems is literally for the retailer. If you sell foods, if you sell whatever type of product you sell, going through like Clover or going through Square are awesome ways of doing it. Those are like your advanced ways of doing it. Those are the newer systems instead of using the old cash registers where at the end of the day you got to count the money up, this, that, and the other. They make it absolutely convenient. So everything that is done in that day's transaction, yes, it'll give you a printout of the cash. You'll have to match the cash up. That's still old school. Money. But as for what makes this thing actually really nice for businesses is the fact every swipe goes directly to the bank account. And that is actually really good about how these POS systems are set up because you automatically set with like Square. I can have like with your swipe system on your phone. That's a little mini POS system. So every time I do a job for somebody and I have you swipe on my phone, it's automatically going to the bank. So same thing in a store. If my store has Square, or if let's say Leslie decides to expand and now suddenly she's selling physical products that people can come pick up, or they're coming to purchase a little drive that has all the templates on it. Look, I'm trying to advance your business. Get it, put them, start selling templates on Drive. Yeah. And so when you come and you swipe for that, whether you type it in, they leave you a tip or whatever, as soon as you swipe for it, it's automatically in the account. I don't have to go through all these days of waiting. It's just an instant move because everything is set up in Square and it's an automatic transfer. So POS systems are dope. I would always look for what's new that's out there. Like I said, Square, but again, this is investing into your business. Everything with technology is investing into your business. To not make the investment, you're always going to be steps behind because you're going to be doing it either the long way or the hard way. Technology makes you work smarter, not harder. So look into, Square, Clover. They actually also have probably the best that I've seen, and they're easy. Even with POS systems for like restaurants, for delivery systems and stuff like that, I've actually been doing some installs for those. I did one for Grits, so now they can do DoorDash and stuff like that, and also with Marcus Market. So it's great ways to advance your company. Even if like for because with COVID and everybody's starting to launch businesses and they selling whether it's treats and plates and dinners and stuff like that, man, start looking into that stuff. I know
Mhm.
everybody maybe if you're getting to the point where your business is like, yo, I'm spending more time running around driving and hiring drivers, man, look into setting up not Google, Uber Eats and all that stuff to come pick the stuff up and take it for you. It's a small price, small investment, but it will advance your business because now I can see if she's still on here. Now I can see May's delightable treats on my Uber Eats and say, yo, I need this cheesecake and
Yeah.
it be delivered to.
Yeah. I was absolutely, she was one of the people that I was thinking about in my head when you said that. I'm like, oh, look at that. But I I actually wanted to, it was this really cool thing that happened. I ordered, and this is another shameless plug, but I ordered some food the other day from the pull-up truck. She was there. We did the but she sent a link to our phones where we could actually place our orders. And then
Come
once,
on.
and I was just like, I didn't even, and I think it was like the Square app or whatever, but I didn't even know that feature even existed. But I thought that was amazing. So people are not literally standing up at the truck outside. They're just picking up their food and they've already placed the order. It
Mhm.
comes to her and I guess some type of technology screen and it's all done. But I thought that was such an amazing feature. But I didn't know that, obviously business owners can sign up through these agencies, but I never thought to tell somebody, well, yeah, you should have Uber. You should set up an Uber Eats. They can come get the food. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, because even think about when you go to the restaurant now, and this could be real good for the small business owner. If you're tired of making this really long flyer that has your full menu on it, do a QR code. Me and Leslie went to what was that? We went to Yard House, and they ain't hand us a
Yeah.
menu or nothing. They just handed us the utensils, set us down. Was like, yo, scan this with your phone, and the menu comes up. So same thing.
That's
Yo,
dope.
create QR codes. You can literally do it. I'm gonna plug my wife in. You can literally do it
In
through her
Canva.
through Canvas. She can teach you how to make it happen, and it will take people to the link of your menu and stuff like that. What you do, what you offer, what you can buy,
Mhm.
and that will help advance your
Mhm.
business because now you get on Facebook and all you gotta do is drop the QR code and let people scan it. Want to know what my business does? You need a product, you need the menu. It's right here.
Yeah, my
Mhm.
next question was going to be one that I'm getting ready to answer myself. So it would be safe to say that a way to sustain your business in technology is to stay abreast on what is the latest technology. Like I didn't even Canva creates this code that would allow for business owners. So I think that's amazing. So Leslie,
Mhm.
yeah, we got a lot of
Yeah.
so I'll ask the question anyway. How to sustain and grow your business with the latest technology advancements in software? So I'll ask it anyway. How would a business owner do that? Sustain
Um,
business within the latest technology and software.
Honestly, it's not the hardest thing to do, even if it's not you, but just to read into what may be for you. Um, Start researching websites that are I can't think of any off the top of my head, but that share the new latest and greatest technology that's coming out, whether it's a processor, whether it's a hard drive. Subscribe to those newsletters. It's literally, unless somebody already has it before you, it would literally be the only way that you'll know what's getting ready to come and be able to say, oh, this might work out for me, or I can use this in my business. So it's just like with landscapers. I just actually seen something I thought was pretty dope with this landscaping company that's here in our HOA. They actually are using technology on the delivery of their routes. So they have iPads set up and stuff like that. And what happens is when they get when they get the address of where they're going, the actual with the address, it gives them the layout of the home, so they know what they're getting ready to get into. So now I know if I need this tool, if I need to look at this, or what I'm getting, how big the yard is, and all this other stuff, and it's literally like dropped through their whole system. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty dope. Instead of you popping up and be like, yo, I'm about to be here all day long. You can already game plan in your mind. So if it's more work you need to take on, you can, or whatever the case may be. So this thing, like technology works no matter what you do, from the landscapers to the restaurant owners to my field to the Canva piece, or even with making graphics, flyers, whatever the case may be. It's always some way that that go be above and beyond, or be able to say, okay, in a sense, you're keeping up with the Joneses,
Yeah.
but do it in the best way that's going to benefit you and bring more profit into your business. Don't just sit back and be like, yo, I could do without it. I mean, look at it. Some of your advancements, just even in with a barbershop, is like wireless clippers. You know how hindered barbers were before when all they had to do was keep it plugged up. Oh man, I just unplugged it. My bad. Hold on. No, that's advancement in any field. Just I got
Yeah.
wireless clippers, so I mean I'm free to move how I need to just touch your hair. So all those little things, even with lighting, that's another technology advancement. I can see that when I'm cutting your hair, because now I got literally Photoshop. I got lights that photographers would have sitting at my station just so I can see what I'm doing. So
Right.
I can make sure your head is a little crisper, whatever case may be. So however
Right.
it advances you and advances and make you better. So those are like, it looks real small, but the detail of it is dope. So
Yeah, it is. So, what are some services that you provide to business owners?
for business owners, for me, it's kind of on a technology based, whatever you need. If you need networking, we can do networking. If you need printing service, we do that. If people are starting to hit me up that are getting offices and they want to set up computer labs, I'll go do the shopping for you. I'll do the consulting for you. We build computers. We repair computers. We run wire. So if you want a hard line to make a smart panel in your business, you want to make a smart network out of your business, and want to make sure everybody's hardwired, because let's keep it 100. Anything on Wi-Fi right now with everybody being on the internet, it's kind of slower than what you're paying for. So if I
Yeah.
got to do that, we run wire, we wall fish, we take care of any and everything for the business, especially around technology. So if you need a VPN, if you want to set up a server, if you want to put up some TVs, projectors, whatever the case may be. Even if you want to set up lighting, that you have to do like a little bit of a low voltage electrical work. So we try to do it at the best work at the lowest rate. That's going to still be profitable for us.
Yeah. I want to kind of add a little piece in there that I think you kind of forgot. There's a lady, I need to stop saying young lady, that's on the live, and she's actually considering getting into the streaming ministry piece with wanting to, do that. I know that I've been a part of Aftershock, where you did all of the technical piece of that entire conference. And that's another feature.
Behind the scenes, I don't want to
Yeah.
be seen.
And I think that's also a really amazing quality that you have also, is that your humbleness about what it is that you can do. So I think what I would suggest to those that are watching about Technical Grace is just talk to him and find out, because there are many things that he won't even mention that he can actually do. So Leslie, what services do you provide for outside of, well, specifically, is there a way you can break down the Canva piece? So a client comes in and Leslie, I need help with content creation. What does that look like? How does that work?
Well, like I said before, it's kind of a case by case basis. If I will actually work on the content, I'm more so focused with Leslie Carissa on the design aspect. So giving them the template so that they can just drop. If you come or if you have a Word document, say you want to write a ebook or a workbook for a course. I know you said that you have a course. So if you decide that you wanted to create a digital product, a workbook for it, and that's something else I want to say too. But I can give you the template, and you just basically drop in your actual Word document, and then you can put in your brand colors and pictures to make it specific to your business, and then you can just start selling that thing on your website or however. So, and what I wanted to say, as far as digital products, everybody should have a digital product at this point, or be working on one. Your goal should be to, if you're in business, you should have a digital product. You might not necessarily start off with a course, but if you do, that's great. A course, an ebook, a workbook, a journal. Like, journals are really popular. I'm, and shameless plug, like you said, I'm going to be teaching women how to make journals in my free Canva Facebook group this month. But you can make a journal. The holidays are coming up, right? Black Friday, the Christmas holiday. Everybody's going to be looking for like journals or planners going into the new year. These are things that you can make in Canva, and then you can actually sell. And so that's like passive income that you're making over and over, each and every month, alongside whatever it is, that you're offering as services. So if you're offering mental health services, you could create a journal, a 30-day journal, 30-day devotional, 30-day, something like that you can sell to your clients while maybe they're getting services from you, or maybe they're thinking about it. There's like, you don't have to just outright sell somebody a $500 service. There's a lot of people that are making money now in these smaller digital products, $17, $27, all that adds up. All that can add up to a lot of money. So that's something that people should definitely think about. If you have a business, research and find a way that you can make a digital product of any kind. A small book. A book doesn't have to be 200, 300 pages. Most people don't have that type of attention span anymore, or time. And so now a lot of people enjoy smaller books, ebooks, or courses where they can just, watch the videos, learn something quickly, follow the YouTube kind of model. And there you go. There's your digital product.
Yeah. So just to clarify, you offer a service where you would teach someone how to create a downloadable ebook?
So in my, I have a free Facebook group. It's called Tips and Tutorials for, it's called Canva Tips and Tutorials for Female Entrepreneurs. And it's a Facebook group, and you can just join the group, and I do weekly tutorials on how to make different things in Canva. And you can take this information and build your own digital product, or definitely purchase some of mine. But either way, get in there. And Canva really isn't that difficult to use. It's really built for the non-designer. And I don't have a graphic design background. I just got in there and really just played around with it and really found that I like it a lot. So that's how I, kind of got started in that.
Because I know for me, and I've said this on other lives, I'm not big on the back office side, so figuring out, I can create the information. Someone can do that. And it was funny because a friend of mine, she was really encouraging me to do the course, but then also like to create it to where it's automatic. The person pays or gets it down. But yeah, that's really, really good stuff. Oh, there's someone said that I'm interested. So with that question being said, how would someone contact you?
And I saw a question. The group is only for women, but I mean, if there's some men that want to get in, a couple here and there, then I definitely, and let's see, how to contact me. My email address is Leslie, LESLIE, at LeslieCarissa.com. They can also visit my Facebook page, business page is Leslie Carissa. And on Instagram, Leslie_Carissa_. So yeah, they can, and then my website, which is forthcoming, is going to be www.lesliecarissa.com.
Okay. Yeah. She says, I'm a non-designer, but have a lot of content I would like to share. So I would definitely encourage you to reach out to Leslie, message her. I will actually go back to the live after it's over, and I'll tag you got your business pages so that they can make, reach out to you. I kind of wanted to take a beat really quickly and discuss, I think Chris may have just stepped out.
Yeah, he says he can't hear.
Oh,
I don't, I
okay.
don't know. But
So, he said that something's going on with the baby.
mhm,
So,
that's it.
Leslie, when
Uh-huh.
I want to, this isn't part of the conversation, but I felt that it was important for us to address. So, when dealing with business and
Mhm.
motherhood, how do you balance the two?
Um, I don't. Uh, it's I'm gonna be honest, like it's difficult, especially because I'm just starting. So I'm trying to find um I guess a balance. I don't even know if balance really necessarily exists. I think we would like to think that it does, but some days it's like you're able to give more attention to this than you are to that. Like it really as a mom, it's kind of like a day by day thing. I'm sure like you can have plans in place, like, oh, I'm gonna do this tomorrow and I'm gonna get this done, that done. And yeah, none of that stuff gets done. Like you can really try. But I think you also have to give yourself grace to know like you can't do everything. I always try to tell myself like Rome wasn't built in a day. Like it takes time to get things done and just keep trying to move, little by little. But I can't say that I necessarily have a balance. I just try to do the things, and some days it works out great, and some days I'm like, Lord have mercy.
Yeah. Yeah, I
So
think what you said is really important in giving yourself grace within that structure, and it's no perfect way of
mhm,
doing it, but that it can be done. I know that what I found often was that a lot of women don't go into business because they don't believe, well, they don't go into business for themselves because
mhm.
they don't believe they can do both.
Yeah.
Um, and it's just, I just really wanted to encourage while having another successful woman in business on the live and encourage those women that and let them know it is possible.
Mhm.
It won't be easy. Like
Mhm.
what worth having is, uh,
Right.
and then just kind of give them an idea because the balance is something that again I asked the question, but I ain't.
Girl, listen, if somebody knows, let me know. And let me speak
Yeah,
to that. And it really is also dependent upon your family structure too. Like I'm
yeah,
blessed in the fact that my husband allows me time to do work on what I'm working on. Like we share the load, like he'll take the kids for a couple hours so I can work on stuff. I'll take the kids for a couple hours so he can work on stuff. And then we try to, make sure that we fit in our family time. Like, and he has a 9 to 5 and then I'm a stay-at-home mom. So it's like a lot of different dynamics. It really depends on your family. Like I have 3 kids, but you have more kids than me. So you know what I mean? Like it it's no perfect way. It's difficult. And also it just really depends on if you are able to have the help, if you have family that can help. Thank you, Lord. Like we have family that can help us when we need like our date night, when we need like our time to just work. We have friends, we have it really helps. So it really depends on you and your what's it called, your village around you to help you with all that type of stuff. And another thing, sorry, I'm just like
no,
I
continue,
talk more than I realize sometimes.
but it's
But
good information.
the part that you said about women like knowing that they can do it, and yes, it's difficult. I struggle with that. Like when I was pregnant, when I was becoming a mom for the first time, I was like, well, okay, this is all I can be right now. Like I need to focus on mom because this is what is super important. Like I need to learn how to be mom. And then as I started having more kids, I realized like I can do more than one thing at a time. And so I just want to encourage women, like you don't have to box yourself in. I know that I did that to myself, like, well, this is all I can focus on right now. And then when I started to see like, no, I can do all the things. It might take a little while longer as opposed to somebody who maybe doesn't have the responsibilities that we have, but I can
Yeah.
do these different things. So, make the time, and especially you're worth it, ladies. Like you're worth it. I know that a lot of people say like, I'm doing this for my kids. My kids are my why. My kids are not my why. I'm my why. Like I'm enough. I'm worth having a business. I have a gift, a talent that I want to share with other people. I have a service that I know that I can offer that will be beneficial to other female entrepreneurs. And
Yeah.
so will reap the benefits of me having my own business and doing things like that, but they're not my why. Like, I'm enough. I deserve to have a profitable, successful business. We
Yeah.
all do, men or women. We deserve that. So yeah, my little spiel. Sorry.
No, that was good. It was good because I've been wanting to, I have desire to have the conversation with women on how to balance, the two with family. But there is another component to it. And I really wanted, it's funny because she's now on the live, Priscilla. I wanted to ask the same questions of her and Deshawn. And that's another thing, like Chris is not on here, but for those that don't know, Leslie and Chris are married. And I wanted to make that very apparent because I'm seeing a lot just on social media that couples are going into business together. They are so it's not just the famous people that you see that are the power couples, but not everyday people. But being able to balance. Okay, so we talked about business and family. So let's now talk about business and marriage. You said something that was really important. That your husband allows for you to do certain things, and for whatever reason, we have to I'll clarify what that means in my life, and that is not so much as his permission. It's more so keeping the harmony within the home, and and having that open communication. Because listen, there's a lot of children in my home. And I'm grateful that, my husband has allowed for me to do exactly what I'm doing right now. Because right now, you don't hear my children. they're all down there with him, But I think that's important when you share. It's having the open communication and the understanding and the support of your spouse. What would you are outside of those three things? What would you think are important, components in marriage and business?
Well, for us, Chris, before we got married, as long as I've known him, he's he's had technical grace. Like, I don't think it was necessarily called technical grace at that time, but he's always, had a computer, an IT business. So it wasn't that big of a transition, like once we got married, because this is something that he was already doing. But then for me, I just found that it's been so great having somebody who already understands, supporting me and encouraging me, because for a long time I wasn't worried about like being an entrepreneur. Like, I was working at the school district for 10 years. I was like, I'm just gonna work, and I don't want to be a business owner. It just seemed like it was a lot, like a headache, and so now getting into this and like getting information and understanding from him and encouragement is just it's motivating, to see like where his business has gone, how it's grown, and that I can get feedback from him, bounce off ideas and talk to him. It really helps. Like you said, there are so many couples that are starting to get into business together. And so, even if you don't, you just definitely need your spouse's support in whatever you're doing, because if the person that you are married to is not supporting you, it makes it difficult for you to want to actually follow through in those dreams and aspirations. So definitely, I think the encouragement part is really big, and then also to help kind of keep you grounded. It's great that he encourages me, but he also lets me know, like, okay, time to pull away and like, come spend some time with us. Let's do movie night. Like, he keeps that, keep me accountable for the things that I am supposed to be doing. Cause you can really sit here and get caught up in this computer all day doing all kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like working and neglecting your responlies. So yeah, that's really, yeah.
Very true. Yeah. So, Chris, right? we took a little bit of a turn. We were discussing family and business and entrepreneurship, and then we began to discuss marriage and business. Do you have any encouragement or little tidbits for the entrepreneur in how to not so much as balance the two, but because like we've learned with just talking a little bit with Leslie that it changes from day to day. What, do you have any encouragement or wisdom or, like I said, some tips to share with other entrepreneurs on how to, the business of family and marriage?
Um, you kind of already hit a lot of the stuff I would say, but I would speak from the what I'm learning now that she's becoming a business owner and she's becoming an entrepreneur. So when it's you, it's easy because it's just a matter of, I'm gonna do this and she'll just have my back and do the things that I may need her to do to help me with my business and stuff like that. And it's more that individual or Leslie molding around me and my business. So I've never been in the seat to where now I have to not just be the supporter, like I'll support whatever she want to do, but actually learn when to pull back and as the supporter, because sometimes you can there is a such thing as being over supported to where it's almost like you being annoying, get off my back and try to do this for myself and understand and learn. But I spoke on it, like I made a post on Facebook where you can always be that friend or that individual in a relationship or in your marriage where you're always trying to have an answer and you're always trying to have advice or response. And sometimes you're the support of an entrepreneur, that's not always the best thing to do. You shouldn't always have answers. Sometimes you just need to be the board they bounce ideas off of. And when it comes to how you support them, treat them like a business. Just like with certain business, there's things that you're gonna ask. Yo, can I do this for your business? Can I do that for your business? I actually have to learn that because sometimes you can overshare and things like that, and they're not ready for it to be out there just yet. And so you really have, that's why she been on about it. And it's like it hurts your feelings because you be like, man, I'm just trying to help you out, but then at the same time you be like, well, I gotta, gotta let them do their thing and start to pick it up on their how they're going to pick it up. And then when they invite you in, go as hard as you can when they invite you in to help out. But also learn when to pull back and let your spouse do their thing when it comes to business, because you don't want to make it look like you pushing a business, you pushing a baby more than they pushing their own baby.
Yeah.
So those things can, kind of hinder it. Like, oh man, it seems like it's more the husband business than the wife, or it seems like it's more the wife business than the husband, or whatever the case may be. Or even if it's a joint collaboration, you don't want to be the one that they always see and they don't see the second side of the business.
Yeah.
That's where marriage and balance has to come in. And then, even with the kids, my biggest thing, it was our fear in the beginning, like, man, how are we going to be doing this stuff and them be around and they ain't going to let us be free and they ain't going to let us be great because they always need some. But bring them in. Like, even when it's doing this live, you hear them in the background. I'm surprised somebody didn't try to jump in my lap yet. But it's a part of, people have to see your real life. Not everything's going to be perfect. They have to see the good, the bad, the ups and downs when it comes to your business. It's just like any other business. People need to see that your business has sustainability and it can rebound in whatever happens. We see businesses have issues all the time, but how they bounce back from it is what makes that business great. So even in being an entrepreneur or a small business, don't despise or don't look at everything that happens as, oh man, this is going to ruin me, or this ain't going to look perfect, or it's going to look something, it's not going to look professional because my son or my baby is hollering, they jump in my lap and I'm like, no, that makes you an entrepreneur. That makes you a parent. That makes you a family man or a family woman. That makes you a husband. That makes you a wife. That makes you a person. We're not robots in this thing. Not everything is going to look perfect. So one thing I remember, there used to be little small things when when Leslie was pregnant with Esme. From time to time, depending on the person, I would go hang their TV or whatever. I'd take Day with me because, it gave her a little free time and, he'd ride with me to go do the job. And, people actually, it was a really good thing because it's like the customer service behind it, because it's like, he's sitting here interacting with the person that gets them off my back. They ain't got to be looking over my shoulder, making me feel all weird. So, it's cool. Bring your family into what you do.
Absolutely.
It makes it easier. It makes it better.
Yeah. I know for me, it's a level of authenticity that it brings about. And it is also another level of relatability. this person understands, and for me, it makes that person trust you. So if you trust that person because of the relatability or the authenticity, it makes you want to do business with that person that much more. So oh my gosh, this has been amazing. We've been all across the board. I appreciate your transparency. I appreciate and value your expertise. Leslie, I cannot wait, because we definitely will have more conversations about this book. And most likely probably content creation, because I'm going to be honest, I suck at that. But I do. So,
and that's that's real.
But I appreciate you guys, and I feel like I'm getting emotional because I'm just leave that alone. But the spirit that it's attached to the both of you and what you bring to the table is absolutely amazing. And I'm sure when people reach out to you, if they haven't already, they'll attest to that. It's not just the expertise that you guys bring. It's a whole package. And I'm grateful and I appreciate you guys. And I'm going to go before I start crying. I don't know what's happening right now. But I appreciate you and I love you both. And thank you for your time. Thank you for all the comments and questions. You guys can probably go back and read those, because there's a lot of people that are asking for your help. And thank you. So again, I'll add those of you guys that are watching, I'll add their contact information in the live after we end. But yeah, do you guys have anything in closing?
Just thank you. Thank you so much for having us on. This was good. I enjoyed this.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
What you're doing is absolutely amazing and it's necessary.
Yes. You're putting some great information out.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right. Well, you guys have a good night. Thank you, everyone. See you guys again. Take care.
You too. Bye.